This epic rant that we are going to be taking a look at today, coming from the legendary actor William Shatner. He holds back nothing when he goes against Hollywood, when he completely exposes them in this absolutely major way. So we're going to go ahead and jump into this, and he indeed has been one of these actors because he does not fit the agenda, because he does not align himself with the Hollywood narrative 100%, because he isn't a creep. He happens to be one of these people who has been, in a lot of ways, blacklisted by Hollywood, and especially when what we look at today, you will see that is exactly the case. So let's jump right into the Star Trek icon William Shatner roast Paramount's continued attempts to memory hole Captain Kirk, and indeed he goes absolutely off. So we're gonna kind of break down this whole thing because this is kind of a bit of a saga here, okay, but it is a glorious one. So let's just start at where it all began, which was here, where this person asked William Shatner a question. What do you think about all the negativity about Sir Patrick's announcement there's a Picard movie script in the works? Talking about Patrick Stewart, who, as we know, plays Picard. And William Shatner said this: I think that a new movie with Sir Patrick is wonderful news, and haters gonna hate. And he posts this gif here, and then someone asked him a question in response, but will we ever see Captain Kirk again? And he responded with this: all you have to do is look at the Paramount Plus graphics to answer that question. And as you can see, according to the graphics here, who is absent, who is missing, who is nowhere to be seen on the Star Trek banner here, despite the fact that he is probably one of the most prominent characters in Star Trek. You do not see William Shatner anywhere on this graphic whatsoever. So it's very obvious that there is an agenda against William Shatner. We've known this for years, okay? And then someone said, has anyone at Paramount come out with an official explanation for this massive flub? We all know the answer to this, okay? Anybody who is awake, anybody who is paying attention to what is going on already knows the answer to this, but William Shatner says this: it's not the first time, it's been going on for years. It makes no difference to me that a group who think they are enlightened, or whatever they think they are, woke, whatever you want to call it, obviously feels threatened by the Kirk character. It's a character from a 1960 TV show. Get over it. Nowhere to be seen. Look at all these characters. They threw all sorts of different people on here, except for the man himself, William Shatner. And then he went on and said this: it doesn't bother me in the least. A bunch of self-righteous strangers thinking they are sending a message by erasing the past. Who is going to forget? It's everywhere. It's so indoctrinated that it will take many generations to be forgotten no matter what they do. Let it be. So he absolutely just torched Hollywood for this. He calls out their woke nonsense, because that is exactly what is going on here at the end of the day. Probably a lot of, weird wokesters who are working in Hollywood find him to be toxic, or he doesn't line up with their nonsense that they continue to push. He doesn't line up with the cult and all that type of stuff, and therefore he has been, in a lot of ways, kicked out. And as you can see here, he is, in fact, even blacklisted from Star Trek, which is just absolutely insane. Now, anybody who's a real one, anybody like you and me, we know, but there's of course going to be a lot of weirdos out there that are going to try to do everything they can to erase him, as they do with pretty much everything in history that they don't like. This is of course the neo-Marxist woke agenda, is to erase anything that they don't like from the past. Kill it if you must. Kill the past so that you can then create the woke utopia future that you want. So with that being said, let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll talk to you all in another video very soon.